Someone mentioned on my Patreon that the airline that Carol was taking was Wayfarer, and that is the same airline that appeared in Breaking Bad during that moment. If you know, you know. Um, I didn't catch that, or rather, I forgot what it was called in Breaking Bad. So once that has been pointed out to me, it is a really cool Easter egg. It's a really cool Easter egg, but at the same time, there are some really funny or rather interesting lore questions that has arise from this information. Like, what if this is in the same universe as Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul? I don't think it is. Again, like I just feel like it is a fun Easter egg. But if it is, there's some really funny, things to think about on like who is on the hive mind. But anyways, welcome back everybody to Pluribus. We are gonna be watching season 1, episode 3. Um, the last episode was really good, and the comment section in the last video was also really good as well. So I really appreciate some of the comments that you guys put on there. Reading some of your thoughts, some of your opinions, some of your perspectives, some of your theories and whatever. That's really cool, and I hope you guys can keep this up as we progress through the season. Um, yeah, it's just really fun. It's just really fun to finally engage with a story without I guess engaging with the story together as we are also kind of figuring out the mystery and trying to figure out like where the story's gonna go next, as opposed to usually on the channel where you guys already know the information. I'm the only one who's like watching it blind. So there is that sense of fear of like, what if I get accidentally spoiled and whatever. But this is fun. This is cool. I love some of your comments, especially the talks of like uh discussions on about like humanity as a whole, where you have like evil people and good people and how they kind of become as one. Like, what would that create? um somebody talked about like how humanity choosing to open the zoos and choosing not to kill, not to end life, if you will. But like what are the limitations, and what are the, I guess, the moral grandstanding of humanity in that regard? You open, the zoos, you let the animals free, but you didn't put them in their natural habitat for some reason. They're just roaming around Beijing and whatever. Like, kind of a flaw, if you ask me, right? You should have just put them in a safer, place. And even then, like, uh not necessarily zoos, but animal sanctuaries and whatever. Like, what about that? Because the people there, like the animals that are put there, are essentially trying to be taken care of, because some of them may not necessarily survive in the wild. So what about those, right? And then like the talks about like ending life and whatever. uh so many questions. But what I love about humanity, as I mentioned in the previous episode, is that we're slowly making or molding the hive mind into a person. And what I mean is that we didn't treat the hive mind as a person in the first episode. We just treat them as them, as this, this amalgamation of humanity that is kind of going against what humanity is. Like, it's taking away humanity's individualistic nature and whatever. uh but if you think about it more and more, the hive mind is still a human being. I feel like regardless of like how many thoughts, how many uh I guess good and evil perspective that it has, that just makes it human, right? At the end of the day, it's still a human being. just with just with 7 billion thoughts at the same time. But yeah, it's I don't know. The thought of it happened in the last episode when Carol was just talking, with the hive mind on the phone, asking like, "Hey, are you okay? Are you alright? Is there any way for you? Is there a way to stop what I am doing to not hurt you anymore?" Like the way Carol is speaking to them feels like she is just speaking with a human, right? She is humanizing the hive mind, if you will. So that is something that I'm very curious to see, like the development go. Like how far are we going to, explore this topic? How far are we going to explore this relationship between Carol and the hive mind, and see where things go? But before we continue on with further discussions, obviously, let's watch season 1, episode 3. What am I looking at? Ice? Oh, flashback.
Cold stimulates ancient nerves, makes you feel a primal connection to the world.
Over 10,000 tons.
Wow, that's a lot.
Luckily, Norway has plenty of snow and ice.
Then harvesting it for storage in a nearby cave.
Pretty sure this is a real place, or inspired by a real place.
Wow. Oh, it's brisk.
Our guest suites are slightly warmer than the rest of the hotel. About 3 degrees below zero. And if you keep going in that direction, you get to our hot tub deck, which is always open. As I'm sure you've noticed, the sky is quite wonderful this time of year.
Okay.
Helen's the one who's smiling and having, being the one enjoying the place. Carol being the opposite, as expected.
We just flew 16 hours to get frozen like Walt Disney.
Walt Disney wasn't frozen. That's a myth. And look at this place. It's on the list. Congratulations.
Good.
Top 20.
Top 20.
Yeah.
But like closer to 11 or closer to 20?
You're impossible. You're the most impossible best-selling author I know. Come over here.
Why?
That is amazing.
The Aurora?
Oh, God, I always wanted to see
Beautiful.
it. Oh, it's turning purple. Oh, look at that.
Man, just the 2 different emotions on display here.
Sitting on a block of ice makes you feel like you have to pee. But is the toilet gonna be made out of ice? What if I stick to
Here,
it?
don't pee, but shh.
What if I stick to it? Helen really was the only one that is the source of joy for Carol. Oh. Okay. Okay.
It's much more spacious up in first class. Sure you wouldn't be more comfortable there? It has lie flat seats. You could get some rest.
I'm fine where I'm at. Thank you.
She really did just stop Air Force One in the last episode just to say that you do not have the permission to bring Zoja with you.
Tell me about the non-English speakers.
Certainly, what would you like to know?
Anything. Everything.
In Bali, there's Ida Udui, 23.
Indonesia
speaks Indonesian
mentioned.
Balinese. She's a contortionist and a dancer. There's Mary Kuxia Kantola, lives in Mazuru, Lesotho. She's only 8 years old. She hasn't decided on the profession.
Next.
8 years old.
You didn't say anything about the guy from,
Paraguay?
where was it? Paraguay. What about him?
His name is Manuso Oviedo. We weren't aware of him for the first 33 hours. So far, he hasn't really communicated with us.
Very isolated. Lonely. Hello?
Hola, señor. Me llamo... Hola, yo soy Carol Sturka. Estoy de los United States.
¡Me jodan más! ¡Déjenme en paz, hijo de putas!
The struggles of communication and the struggles of making connections.
Chinga tu madre, cabrón!
We're sorry, Carol. We don't think it was personal.
Well then. I love this shot. Oh.
We gathered all the mail that was in transit for you.
Oh.
We think you're really gonna like what's in the box.
Fan letters, perhaps? Also Zoja being represented by the color blue. Very interesting. Helen.
Helen ordered it for you. You'd been so stressed out on the tour. You tried one in the Atlanta airport, but you said it was too expensive, so Helen bought one online.
Wow.
Did she?
She thought it would make a nice gift to celebrate the end of the tour. A homecoming present.
Get her out of your head. Heads.
Carol, we apologize if
Never
it-
mention her again. Never think about her again. Only I get to remember her. You got that?
Wow.
Only me.
Well, she had been born with no
Oh, great
smiling
job.
muscles.
Just watch the Golden Girls. She got the whole collection. Is it Helen's favorite show or is it Carol's favorite show? Red car.
The hell?
Well, that's new. Food. How did I make this shot, by the way? Like, there's no reflection of the camera. Reminds me of, like, that shot from James Gunn's Suicide Squad with the helmet.
Good morning, Carol.
What's with the food?
It's the exact meal you had at that B&B you stayed at in Provincetown. You were very complimentary of the chef that morning. It really stuck with her. The sorghum flour
So
and
you
the pancakes.
took it upon yourself to make me breakfast?
Is the food not to your liking? Would you like us to make you something else instead?
Nope.
Ooh. Like, psychologically speaking, she's just in denial of everything. Like, literally, she just denies.
What the fuck?
Of course.
We're consolidating resources to centralize useful items for distribution. Food, medicine, anything helpful from stores or businesses or what used to be private homes.
I am a very independent person, okay? I just want my sprouts back.
Absolutely. Will do.
Okay. I just need a rough estimate of when I should come back.
We'll be there in a moment.
In a moment. Is it possible for Carol to just ask for the hive mind to act like normal humanity before the incident? Like, could that happen? Which obviously adds more to the illusion that nothing bad ever happened. Oh, I love that shot.
May we sneak past you here?
Love this music playing in the back.
All set, Carol. Call us if there's
Something you want that's not here, we'll get it to you.
tea sweet.
Every meal is a choice. Wow. Crazy.
Damn it.
Ooh. We're saving electricity. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reason. Oh, never mind. Just for you, Carol. It's us, Carol.
Why are you turning them off everywhere else?
For conservation. Just the ones that aren't
Yep.
necessary, which are, well, most of them.
What, lights aren't necessary for you guys? You just see in the dark?
It's just that there's no crime to prevent, and we're not working at night, except for essential operations. Carol, is there anything we could do to cheer you up?
Cheer me up? Why? I'm fine. I'm so happy. There is nothing wrong with me that a fucking hand grenade wouldn't fix. You got one of those? Because I think that would be the perfect topper for the greatest week in human history.
They're gonna send a hand grenade.
Fuck it.
Great cut. Zoja. Hello, Carol. Here's a grenade.
Yeah.
Hi. Sorry it took so long.
A hand grenade.
Yes. We thought you were probably being sarcastic, but we didn't want to take the chance.
We thought you were sarcastic, but just to be safe.
Were you being sarcastic?
Wow.
Feel better, Carol.
Oh.
Hey, do you maniacs drink?
Feel better, Carol. Wow.
Does the whole world get drunk when you drink? Like, does some 6-year-old in Sri
Look at
Lanka
this
slur his
focus.
words when you knock one back?
No, it doesn't work like that.
Incredible. This is an incredible shot.
Well done. Shoot, shoopy shoop shoop.
Shoopy shoop shoop.
You people make no goddamn sense. Do you know that? We want to make you happy, you say. Your life is your own, you say. An agency. I've got all this agency, but I mean, I guess I have agency just until I don't?
If you were walking by a lake and you saw somebody drowning, would you throw him a life preserver?
So now I'm drowning?
You just don't know it.
Ooh.
I mean, what could possibly be so great about this mind meld of yours?
Ask them,
Actually,
yeah.
Let me guess.
She never did.
Just wave after wave of bliss and peace and everything is perfect. It's like living inside a postcard every second of every day. Or you're in Norway above the Arctic Circle and
In a hotel made of ice. Under a pile of furs.
I told you that Helen was off limits. You are a bunch of mindfuckers. Wow, you got this thing really jammed in there, don't you?
Please, be careful with that.
Right, like you would give me a real hand grenade.
Carol, if we may.
Switching to handheld.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
Oh, the sporadic cuts every now and again.
Okay.
Oh, what a shot.
We're happy to say Zosia's doing much better.
Why would you give me a hand grenade?
You asked for one.
Why not give me a fake one?
Sorry if we got that wrong, Carol.
Even after last night, you would give me another.
Oh, sure.
Okay, what about a bazooka? And the thing a bazooka shoots, a rocket or whatever.
Yes.
What about, I don't know, a tank?
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you want.
What about an atom bomb?
Why would you want one?
Why not? Testing the limits of humanity here.
It'd be okay to say no at this point. That would be sane.
If you truly wanted a nuclear weapon, we would weigh the pros and cons.
Weigh the pros and cons.
Ultimately, yes. Wouldn't necessarily feel good about it. But we would move heaven and earth to make you happy, Carol.
Wow.
Would you like an atom bomb?
The way he's twitching.
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that.
Yeah. Season 2. Oh, that was it. Oh. Flew by once again. Oh, there's music. There's a couple of things on my mind already. A couple of things. But the main thing that is on my mind, especially after what happened at the end of the episode, as in, like, the conversation between, would you give me an atom bomb? And their answer, we would do anything, we would move heaven and earth for you, Carol, just to make you happy. I wonder what kind of character, or rather, I wonder how the show is going to paint Carol by the end of the series. Will she be seen as a hero, or will she be seen as a villain? The reason why I'm asking this is because from humanity's perspective, if you were to root humanity and not Carol in this instance, Carol is the villain. We're doing everything we can to save her, to help her, but she refuses. She refuses she refuses all of the positivity that could befall to her, that humanity could have given to her. Like, she refuses all of that. The reason why I'm asking this is because if I look at Breaking Bad, and I guess to an extent Better Call Saul, even though I haven't finished that yet, these are shows where the character that we are following isn't a good person. Or rather, they're the protagonist of their stories, but they are, for many intents and purposes, a villain to others. And in this case, Carol can be seen, from a certain perspective as a villain. I'm not saying that she is, because obviously, at the end of the day, I root for her. She's right in the sense that humanity should be, the hive mind does not represent humanity as we know it. Humanity is all about different emotions, different feelings. It's all about differing opinions, differing perspectives, living different lives, and making connections because of those differences. That is what humanity is all about, right? The hive mind is completely antithetical to what humanity actually is, and yet it is presenting itself as, no, we are humanity. We are literally humanity. this is who we are. And so who's the crazy one here? And the fact that humanity here, the hive mind, is doing everything they can in their power just to make Carol happy, and Carol is refusing that. Or not necessarily refusing it, but more so, well, I was going to say deny, but I guess refusal and deny are practically the same thing. But you see how this pains humanity in a sense. Because we talked a lot about Carol in the last 2 episodes. I want to shift gears for a moment. I want to shift gears and see this from the hive mind's perspective. You see how the guy was twitching at the end of the episode. When he was like trying to find the right words to tell Carol that, maybe ultimately we would give you an atom bomb if that makes you happy. There's gonna be a lot of major consequences. I love how he says, well, there's pros and cons to it, but if it makes you happy, Carol, we will do it for you. This is a battle between objectivity and subjectivity, I guess. Humanity's being super objective on the matter, whereas Carol is being super, subjective, because she is. She is human after all. And humanity taking her words literally. Give me a grenade. You weren't being sarcastic about it, right? Hands her a grenade, a real live grenade. As extreme as it gets, in a way, it is showing that the hive mind is still human. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? Like, being unable to understand if a person is being sarcastic or not, like, that is a flaw. That is a human flaw. I know people who don't, who takes things literally, who could not comprehend if you're being sarcastic or not. Like, that is just a normal person. This is an extreme version of that. Obviously, when Carol was asking for a grenade and they gave a grenade, but the fact that they were questioning, like, we don't know if you were being sarcastic or not and whatever, like, that is, like, again, like, that is a human feature. That is something human. It is what makes the hive mind a very unique character to me, because in many parts it is uncanny, but in other parts they are reflecting human nature. Carol asking if the hive mind would like a drink. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure drinking, alcohol, there's, not trying to say that that it's bad for you, but there are some, health concerns, right? If you go overboard, but I just find it fascinating, because humanity, in this instance, we are being shown a lot of, I guess, I don't want to say flaw, but human characteristics that would otherwise be self-destructive, I would say. Like the fact that humanity accepted Carol's request, to do you want a drink? Maybe in the future, if Carol hands humanity a cigarette, does humanity smoke? Again, like, questions, right? Because it begs the question of, like, where does the hive mind stand on its moral ground? Because I kind of talked about that in, I guess, in the last episode discussion, where at the end of the day, humanity has the potential to destroy itself, to hurt itself. Normal people have, they have the potential to hurt themselves. What is stopping the hive mind from hurting itself? Would the hive mind hurt itself to please Carol? Now that's another question. If Carol told the hive mind to kill itself to please Carol. That is an extreme scenario, but would the hive mind do it? Carol practically tested that out with asking if the hive mind would give her an atomic bomb. And they would ultimately say yes. They would be hesitant about it, but they would oblige. So if Harold told, if Carol told the hive mind, kill yourself, would they do it? Would the hive mind sacrifice itself to save Carol? Is that a possible endgame scenario for the series? Is the show gonna end now that I'm thinking about it? Because again, like there's so many possibilities on how the show could end and how, I guess, like what kind of resolution you would give in this regard. Like we can have like the very happy ending where the effects gets reversed and everybody returns to their normal individual state, or we can go, a bit darker in our ending. What if Carol just asked humanity to kill itself? Will humanity oblige? Will humanity say yes? Where is the limitation? When will humanity say no? Because humanity so far has only been saying yes to a lot of the requests. I guess killing animals is like where they kind of draw the line. And what I just said does kind of contradict what humanity kind of told the individuals in the last episode, that they could not end life. But what if it's for Carol though? Humanity, the hive mind, could not end life for their own benefits, but what if they would end life for pleasing somebody else? For Carol, would they do it? How far will humanity go for Carol? And I guess the same question applies to Carol. How far will Carol push humanity? Because so far, Carol has been very distant. She again, like, she refuses humanity's help in many cases, in many ways. But if you look at like Kumba, I believe is his name in the last episode, the guy who's living this very abusing the power of what he has right now, where humanity is trying to please the individuals as much as possible. Like he is abusing that, right? And in many ways, Carol just kind of, I guess, accidentally abused that power when she asked for, hey, bring my supermarket back. She didn't know that humanity is gonna bring all of it back in like 2 minutes. But this does kind of open Pandora's box again. Like, how far will Carol go? Is Carol gonna succumb to that? Is Carol gonna go down that path of like, can you give me exactly what I want? Really? You're gonna give me anything that I want? Like, is she gonna go down that route? Is she gonna stay on principle and say, nope, I don't want you to help me? As she said, she is an independent person. She doesn't need any help. But that also goes against what humanity is all about. We can't live on our own. We are not an individual person. We are individuals, but humanity could not survive on its own. We need other people. We are social beings. And speaking of being social creatures, social beings, I'm really loving this connection, this relationship that they're building between Carol and Zosha. And it's, again, like, it's kind of because Carol is interacting with Zosha the most, we're slowly turning Zosha into more and more of a person, as opposed to just the representative of the hive mind for Carol. Like how Carol cares for her, she got out of her plane and stopped Air Force One just so that she could get, Zosha back on her side. Like, she cares for her, whether she liked it or not, whether she accepts it or not. This really weird, unique relationship that is forming between the two of them. And again, by the end of this episode, Zosha's fate of, Zosha, or I guess, the hive mind, saving Carol, taking the brunt of like the damage from the grenade. But I'm starting to get that idea, this feeling that the more Carol interacts with Zosha, the more Carol sees Zosha as an individual and not a hive mind. And she might forget about that fact, and then she's gonna remember it again, and that's gonna break her reality. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, she's gonna spend more time with Zosha. She's gonna treat Zosha more and more as a person, as a human, to the point where she would not necessarily forget, but she would consider her to be a normal person. So when she snaps back and realizes or remembers once again that she's not really talking to a person, she's talking to a hive mind. Like, I'm wondering, like, how would that scenario come about? I'm also wondering, like, how the scenario after this episode is gonna come about. Like, Zosha is in the hospital. Is Carol gonna visit her? And if so, like, what's the interaction? Like, I'm so curious to see, like, how, especially like the dialogue between the two of them, like how they interact, and very specific choices of words, when referring to one or the other. But yeah, that'll be all for Pluribus Season 1, Episode 3, at least on my end. I'll probably talk more about this episode in the next episode intro. Again, if you guys let me know in the comments down below, like, your thoughts, your opinions. Would love to read them and maybe potentially, expand on some of the discussions that you guys may have put on. That would be great. I would love that. But for now, that is pretty much it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you all next time for the next episode of Pluribus. Take care, everybody. Have a nice day. Peace.